little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good morning. Welcome to another satiating and solidifying episode of Diatribes, the voice of Boone. Now, here's your host, the picture frame-esque and perfectionism voice of Boone. Morning, everyone. I'm sure I'll get better at these intros eventually. However, today is not a good example of that. No, you did not accidentally click on authentic footage from a 1970s hippie powwow. That is me practicing the Michaela. Doom bought it for me for a birthday years ago, and not only to pay recompense to his gift, but also to just get better at music. I have decided, let's try to make our own bumper music. That, coupled with the fact that a couple copyright strikes are able to put a sour taste in our mouth from all the copyrighted music we've been putting on lately, I figure that it's appropriate for us to make our own music. For the time being, you can expect something different at some point. I have a story for you about New Year's Eve. I like to donate plasma regularly, and I also have game night plans with my friends weekly. And this night, it was snowing. Now, when we get snow in Nevada, it's usually not too bad, so I figured, okay, let's go for it. I have an all-wheel drive car. What's the worst that could happen? You know, I'll swerve here and there, but let's go down and donate plasma, then come back up, relax, and then we'll have fun with our friends. Let's go for it. So I'm driving, I'm swerving here and there, but ultimately I'm thinking, okay, in order to donate plasma, I have to pass a heart pulse test sort of thing. And that's not going to do me any favors if my heart is racing from all the swerving that I'm doing. So I decide, okay, let's slow down a little bit. Let's take it easy. Unfortunately, the car had different plans, and coupled with the sticky snow, it led to me ending up face first in a ravine. Now, if you don't know, when you're driving on a freeway, you have two lanes, one going forward, one retreating, and there's a little ravine in between them, so that way when it rains, there's a place for all the water to go. Very important for traffic. And it's angled, and I'm stuck there, and things are not looking good. I'm trying to angle myself. I'm trying to put it in neutral. I'm trying to dig myself out with my bare hands. The snow turned to mud, and the mud was no bueno for the wheels. I just can't get traction, no matter what. So I finally admit defeat. I go inside the car and I call 911. Say, hey, I need a tow truck. I'm stuck. Imaginably so. The operator said there are many cars stuck, so I will just have to wait. Perfect. Peachy. I decide, okay, to pass the time, let's just try to get myself unstuck, I suppose. There's nothing bad that could happen other than excusable frostbite, but what else is new? I'm trying to get myself unstuck and across the road, so the other side of the freeway, I'm here and they're here. Another car got stuck, but they have the benefit of actually being on level ground. So I'm thinking, okay, well, hey neighbor, this is something out of Abbott and Costello. Looks like people are getting more stuck, and eventually there will be no one on the road to drive because we'll all be on the shoulder stuck in the snow. They shout from across the way, hey! I'm like, oh, what? And they say, we got some friends coming over to help push us out. And I say, oh, that's cool. They say, yeah, when they help us, we'll come and help you. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty stuck down here. Not only would they have to push a 2-ton car over this this mound of snow and mud, but they would actually have to go, more so than the snow can pile on top of it, because it is coming down, and it's not the type of snow that's light and dusty and a little bit like hail. It is sticky and it is big. Okay, so I'm not putting a lot of stock into them so far. The tow truck finally comes over. He gets out, says it's going to be $150. Says he's got other cars to help get unstuck first. I'm thinking, okay, $150 down the drain. What a way to kick off this celebration. But let's just wait. I can't help myself any faster than he can. So if it's going to be 12 hours, it's going to be 12 hours. I'll just walk over to my friend's house at worst case scenario. I'll just let this holiday be a bust so far. So he drives away, and just as I kind of surrender and text my friends, hey, I might not be able to make it because I'm stuck, and if I can't get unstuck, I don't know how fun I'm going to be during game night. These two guys in this big GMC, this black truck sort of thing, I'm not so savvy with makes and models, they hop out and say, hey, want some help? And I'm thinking, well, these guys across the way offered help, but I'll take all I can get. What'd you have in mind? I hope you guys don't get stuck too. And they kind of chuckle at the thought, thinking, nah, we won't get stuck. They're in a pretty big car, and they hop out, we roll up our sleeves, and they lay down their snow pads. We try to wiggle ourselves onto them, and he hops in, and he sees the $150 that I had on my seat to pay for the tow truck, and he didn't touch it. Not once. He could have snagged it, got into his car, and ran off, but he didn't. So he flips on this switch to help the tires go a little bit better, because I'm totally oblivious when it comes to cars. At some point you might see a little tutorial from Doom on showing you the basics of vehicular utilities and tools, because I am very oblivious, and if I have to learn, then may as well share the experience. But I digress. I'm still trying to angle myself and reverse and move forward, and we're digging out of the mud, and it's just hopeless. No matter, thanks guys, but I really just don't have a lot of faith that we can get unstuck. It's coming down too bad, and there's just not enough traction. And these 6 or 7 guys go and shove this blue car across the way, right back onto the road. And leaving their car, these guys are rushing towards me. They're rushing over traffic, and they're hopping the fence in between the 2 lanes, and they all just get behind my car, and like 6 or 7 of these guys, and plus the 2 other guys, there's 9 guys behind me, and they say, throw it in drive, or whatever he said, and they literally throw me back onto the road. All 9 of them, young men, pushing behind me. They literally, 1 second I'm down and I'm like, up against the fence. Please excuse the coffee maker. I don't even drink coffee. And the next second, I'm on the road and I'm driving, because they say, go, 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 traffic is coming. And before I could even say thank you, I'm already way down there going 40 miles an hour. So if that doesn't give you a little bit of faith in humanity, I'm not sure how you could find the sensibility for that. That's one of the examples that I've been giving Doom over these last few days about humanity. Now, of course, he says humanity is fine. It's the politicians that aren't. Well, I will definitely have a rebuttal for that at some point. But for now, I really want to thank you guys if you're out there watching. You didn't have to do it. You could have easily just kept driving. You could have easily taken my money and fled. You could have easily helped your friend out and then not helped me. But you did. So I'm back onto the road, and I'm hearing these news reports. I'm hearing, power's out for like 3/4 of the city, and I'm thinking, whoa, okay, this snow is intense. We've never had power outages that bad before. The entire time I've lived here, and things are looking bad. It's New Year's Eve. People want to drive to the airport. People want to drink. People want to go out and party, and there's no electricity, and the roads are cluttered. What are we going to do? So I get home, and somehow we maintain power, even though our neighbors just a few houses down lost power. It's absolutely ludicrous. Something out of a world-ending movie like Waterworld or 2012 or something. Things are crashing down here. And I text my friends, and it's like, look, what are we going to do? You guys don't even have power. How are we going to spend New Year's Eve? Maybe we should all just stay home and celebrate another day. And my one friend says, hey, you want to hike down to the river? And at first I'm thinking he's joking because it's freezing out there. And also, even if we do, we're going to come back to a place where there's no warmth or warm food. So, well, let's be adventuristic. Why not? That's what this entire day has been thus far. Let's put all of our chips on red. Let's hike down to the river. So I go over to their place. They're absolutely in a dim room. They have maybe 2 or 3 candles, and here's me, the prepper of the group, taking out these 2 large lanterns, and I light up their world, figuratively and literally. So they have lanterns. We all throw on our jackets. We all eat some cold pizza, and I had actually a bottle of sparkling cider for them, so that was kind of humorous. And cheers, everyone! Pass the bottle around because it's too dark to find glasses. We make our way out. What would normally take an average person in average conditions about 20 minutes to walk down from that house to the Carson River took us about an hour and a half. That's how bad the snow was, and we're 4 young men. We've got our health, you know. So we hike down to the river, and it is freezing. And I think it was just so quiet, and we were so in nature that human beings are very fragile, you know. It only takes a little tiny force of nature, 1% of nature's power to completely rock our world to our core. That's a quote from Ratatouille, I believe. Wasn't meaning to do that, but there you go. It's absolutely admirable, nature is. And human beings are a part of nature, don't forget that. So we walk back after that little moment of tranquility, and we see that this guy is stuck. We're thinking, hey, that guy's stuck in the snow. Should we give him a little push? I got help from these guys earlier, so I kind of want to pay it forward, guys. And they say, well, all right, fine, let's help him out. So we all get behind him and push. No use. This time, though, I actually did have a shovel. I had my little walking stick. It was like a shovel-type walking stick. And so I'm starting to get snow out from under him. And we're pushing, and we're telling him, hey, back up, angle this way, angle that way. And I feel just like the guys who helped me earlier. It's nuts how the kindness boomerang works. And just as the other guys are about to throw in the towel, they say, oh, come on, Ben, let's try one more. Let's try one more time and then leave. And then I say, okay, come on, this time for sure. We finally get out enough snow, and we all get behind him. We're 4 young men with a lot of strength behind us. You know, I'm no string bean myself, but this other guy we used to work at Del Taco, and that's pretty harsh on your muscles. And the other guy used to wrestle recreationally. And then there was the string bean of the group, but he could still throw a punch. And we finally push him back onto the road, and he's gliding. I shout, Happy New Year to you. Something out of Saturday Night Live, I tell you. Absolutely amazing. Awe-inspiring, I would say. So we finally get back. We're in a cold, dark room, no electricity, and we're just kind of conversing. We've known each other forever, so we can pretty much make light of it. At some point, I'm just so unfit and out of shape and needing sustenance that I just kind of worm my way into this sleeping bag and greet the new year that way. By the time I woke up, it was 2 a.m. and they said, yeah, can you go home? We want to go to bed. So me and the 2 other friends make our way. Unfortunately, they didn't have room in their car for me, so I decided to hoof it. And my house is actually in walking distance of theirs, so I didn't mind too much. And just as the other 2 friends are pulling out of the driveway, guess what? What was the theme of this video? They got stuck. So I take my shovel, I'm digging them out, and I push their car, which was bigger than the other car from before. I push them out, and we go our separate ways. Just figured I'd throw that in, just to really hammer home just how snowy and decrepit it was in this town that night. I walk home and I flop into bed. Literally flop into bed. If there was a better adjective to describe it, then I would use it. I flopped. So I do hope that you all make sure to count your blessings. Always have a shovel on you in snow time. Doesn't matter how bad you think that you don't need it. Swallow your pride. Be prepared. And this year, whether it be sooner or later, I want everyone watching this to go out of their way to help someone. Go out of your way to. That doesn't mean holding the door for someone or, giving a $5 to someone down on their luck that you see. Okay, that's still on your path. That's a part of your karma. That's what you were going to be doing. But I want you to go out of your way to help someone. And as the kindness boomerang theory would say, you will receive it back. As a bodhisattva, I can attest to it, because those guys didn't need to help me. They didn't need to push me. They didn't need to let me borrow their snow pads. They could have left me behind. They could have taken my $150 and fled. They could have done anything, but they chose to help me. What do I provide to the world that they gain from? Nothing. They helped me because they could help me, and I appreciate it. If you guys are out there, I truly hope that you get everything you deserve karmically, and I will continue to pay it forward. So, with that being said, it is January 8th. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Be sure to really reflect on what matters to you. Really think about what you want to bring to the world this year. Because too many people have New Year's resolutions, and not enough people really think about what they want that year to be. They're too busy on what they want to do in that year, not what they want the year to do for them. So I encourage you all to do so. Stay hopeful, stay optimistic, expect more videos from myself and Doom in the future, and thank you for watching.